Isang magandang gabi na naman sa lahat. So, it's Friday time. It's Alpha TV Day, no? So, today, I am your host, Engineer Joshua Palisok, currently the Chief Operations Officer of Aztecs PH Academy. And for tonight, we'll be having a new episode once again for the Alpha TV. And our guest speaker for tonight is no other than our very own Coach Rai Cruz. And he will discuss about leadership. So napakagandang topic for tonight, no? So first of all, ayan, let's acknowledge first our partner. So ayan, our partner IXL Online CIE Review, Grace Apparel PH Startup Podcast, to us, the very first Filipino cloud-based analytics platform. Register now to claim your free 90 days trial. Inhiniero.org. And our keynote speaker for tonight is Coach Rai, a certified life coach by the Academy of Modern Applied Psychology, a senior consultant in Ask PH Academy to discuss about the leadership challenge for 2023 and beyond. So Coach Rai, magandang gabi po.
Hi, Sir Joe. Good evening and good evening sa lahat ng ating mga ka-alpha, no, mga makasubaybay sa atin for new learning once again and for everyone to have a significantly better skill no, once they watch this Alpha TV series that we're doing.
Okay, Coach Rai, I won't consume more of your time, so the floor is now yours. And so let's begin our Alpha TV tonight. Salamat po.
All right. So thank you very much once again, Sir Joe, and to our sponsors and partners for making this Alpha TV possible, this show. So would like to check if you can see clearly the screen, yung ating slide, no? Getting ready for the leadership challenges 2023 and beyond. Malinaw ba?
Yes po,
Kita
sir.
naman? All right. And audio is good as well?
Yes po, Coach. Yes po, Coach.
All right. Thank you very much, Sir Joe. And thank you most especially to our participants no, who are watching and hope that we will learn something new no, for this Alpha TV, another Alpha TV session with regards to leadership. All right. So, yeah, and I'll be sharing with you, no, as you could see in the slide, the landscape. No, it's a landscape pertaining to three things, three areas or perspectives that are shaping the leadership landscape for 2023 and beyond. Yeah, so we'll start first with knowing no outside forces that affects the leadership landscape, which is what we call external environment, no? External environment, and then followed by the internal environment factors, which is compassionate leadership, and then the new skills no, that are needed in order for us to be a better leader. No? Kasi as leaders, we need to be ahead. No, we need to model. So mahirap, no? It's difficult to be a leader because you need to be ahead of things. You need to see things on a different perspective, and your job as a leader is more of being future oriented. No? So looking at what are the things that are happening that would affect no the organization, the markets, so that we could plan as much as possible and we could prepare ourselves on how to handle different things that will happen along our way. Of course, we're starting with the external environment. So these are factors that we cannot control. As leaders, what we can do is, first of all, we should control ourselves. Andun yung ano that's the power of leadership within self, is controlling yourself, no? Your self-awareness, your self-belief, your self-regulation. So that's the power within you. And then, of course, if you can control yourself, so it's better as well to not to control others, but rather influence. So yun yung essence ng leadership is for you to influence people. All right, so let's start with the external environment. And the external environment has changed, no? Drastically, given this 2020 uh, pandemic. No, not only that, but previously, no, we call the landscape external environment or forces is VUCA, no? VUCA, yung volatility, um, uncertain, ambiguity, and yung volatile, and ambiguity, uncertainty. So dati yun yung tawag. But now, it's different. With the help of the Institute of Future, would you know dun sa, did you know, no? Trivia, in the US, they have this organization called Institute for Future. So, ang ginagawa ng mga tao dito, no? Which one of the fellow in Institute of Future, si Jamais Casio, has predicted, no, or formulated that VUCA is no longer the market, no, for the next 10 to 20 years. But what it would be, it's called B.A.N.I, no, B.A.N.I. It would be described as a chaotic, no, age. Ayan. So, kasi yung VUCA, no, yung volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, actually it came from the military way back 1980s pa yan, no? 1980s. It's shaped by the Cold War. Cold War is the war before with US and Russia. Yung they are racing for nuclear power before previously, no, during the 80s, and because of that, ayan, yung term na VUCA came from there, from the military, US military. And then now, no, from 2020 and beyond, it is shaped, no? The environment will be shaped by climate and global systemic changes. So, in terms of VUCA, medyo worn out na siya, no? In terms of the conditions of the market right now. So, what we see is, eto nga, no, up to date, which is the B.A.N.I, no, brittle, anxious, nonlinear, and ayan, incomprehensive, no, yung ating external environment. So we need to be aware of this. Why? Because as leaders, as I've said, we need to be aware, no, of the external changes that are happening, no, yung external forces, as in order for us to strategize better. So let's for ayan, si Jamais Casio. So that's what he looks like. And is the futurist, no, from the center or the creator of the B.A.N.I framework. And the infographic that I'm sharing was made by one of his followers, is Stefan, no, Grabmayer. Ayan, so as you could see in the slide, so we have evolved, no? In terms of VUCA, it lost its descriptive meaningfulness. It's not anymore relevant as of now because we are in the age of new perspectives, and our it's more B.A.N.I, no, is considered as more accurate in terms of describing yung current situation that we are in, emotional states, and causal connections. So why is there a need, no, to shift, no, in terms of these terms? Well, one is yun nga, no, in this B.A.N.I age, benchmarks are not any more reliable kasi what worked in the past doesn't guarantee us that it will be successful no when we implement it today or in the future. Cause and effect get distorted by delay and disproportion, no, meaning ano hindi na we're not sure anymore, no, in terms of how to be successful on this particular environment. And yung uncertainty, no, it's not anymore just uncertain, but it turns into anxiousness, no, and fear. Kasi sa sobrang dami ng changes that are happening, machine learning, artificial intelligence, data analytics, so much things that are happening, no, so much changes that it creates no fear na, or the uncertainty turns into anxiousness. So we need to do something as leaders to address this. And yun nga, no? And as time goes by, more and more data, no, are becoming increasingly incomprehensible. So ang dami, sobrang dami na, ano bang dapat gawin. Too much information actually is flooding, no, our system. The knowledge channel that we have is too much, no, over. If you search for anything, like for example, if you search sa Google, no, leadership, there are about 50, no, 50 million searches, no, that includes yung the term leadership. Biro mo sa dami, no. So it's truly hard, no, to comprehend that too much data is being flooded, no, in our system as of now. Ayan, so what do we need to do? So yeah, we capitalize on this B.A.N.I, B-A-N-I, because it allows us for more accurate amount or account of what the current circumstances is. It's chaotic. It will pave the way for us our approach on how, no? How do we approach and make the world more comprehensible again? And it will create opportunities for us to meet these challenges appropriately. So that's why we need to shift, no, from V.U.C.A to B.A.N.I. And may mga counter din, no? Of course, we've discussed B.A.N.I, no, brittleness in terms of yun nga, hindi na siya volatile but brittle. Meaning, if it's brittle, so it's very delicate. No, we need to really focus and take care of it. Parang it's a make or break. No, that's why it's called brittleness. And anxiety, no, from uncertainty, it already becomes an anxiety. So if you have ever heard that the term anxiety attack, no, may mga ganyan minsan, no, that affects, no, yung kanilang mental condition. Like for example, meron akong kakilala, no, na nurse, which she has an anxiety attack. So in one of my participants yun sa Katatagan Online. So it's like we're increasing on how for her to be resilient in order to avoid those types of anxiety attack through micro habits, no, that will create joy and peace to her life. Yeah. Non-linearity means, no, hindi na yung meaning not straight line, non-linear, no, and salasalungat, no, hindi lang complexity, but more than complexity, it's non-linearity. So that's the meaning of it. Hindi na basta siya complex, but more than complex. And then lastly is incomprehensible. is that ayun, no, we're having a hard time to comprehend, no, all the information, all the data, all things that are coming in. So how do we process and resolve it, no? Or to counter this B.A.N.I environment? So first, for the brittleness, what we need is yung capacity building, no? Capacity building for us to have more of those problem solving and critical thinking skills, no, which is the skills for the future. For anxiety, no, there is what we call the term compassionate leadership, wherein more than empathy and mindfulness, we need this to be compassionate, no, to not only to ourselves but as well more so as leaders to others. In terms of nonlinearity, so we need to identify the context and be adaptive of what context do we really want to. So being authentic, no, with ourselves and to others. Same with the incomprehensibility. So transparency, no, is very important, and intuition in order for us to move forward given this new environment which is called ban. Ayan, so in the two tools, no, that I would share with you in order to counter this chaotic environment that we will be in. First is to have a compassionate leadership. So what is compassionate leadership? Compassionate leadership is more than empathy, no? It's more than putting your shoes, or rather your self on the shoes of the other person. But it's more of really looking into what can you do, no, to help and add value to that person. So a good example is if you are a leader, no, or a team leader, what you could do is you not only look for the before we are driven, no, leaders are driven more of the results. Relationships so lang eh. But now it's more than the relationship, but being compassionate of their needs. So a concrete example is like unlike before the pandemic, no, pag someone said na magsi-sick leave ako, uh, nag-sick leave ako kasi I'm sick. So ang ano niyan, ang mindset of the leader is, or a manager is that baka nagpapalusot lang 'to kasi may pupuntahan lang, or this is just a reason para makapagpahinga siya, or may gagawin na iba, or baka may a-attend na occasion, 'di ba? So that's the mindset. But now, having that compassionate leadership, it's not like that anymore, because ang thinking natin is we are very compassionate on how the person is feeling. No, we are concerned on his or her well-being. Yan. So first is well-being. Since we are a compassionate leader, we look for I don't know, we really show that we care for that person. Na pag nag-leave siya because it's either an emergency or he or she is sick, aside from filing, no, and approving, kakamustahin pa natin siya. Oh, ano, kamusta ka na? How are you doing? Kasi it shows authentic concern, no, dun sa person. And with that, that employee or subordinate of yours as a leader would feel na, oh, ano, talaga palang ano, very caring si boss. He or she is really concerned to me. So with that, ano, no, iba yung dadalin na attitude nung follower mo, subordinate, or part of your team member as a team leader. So he or she will show her best, no? Gagawin niya kasi sabi nga ni John Maxwell on his quote, people don't care, people don't care how much you know until you show how much you care. 'Di ba? People don't care what you know until they show that you care. 'Di ba? So it's really having an impact. Being compassionate leader is focusing as well on the well-being of your team members, employees, or um, yung mga direct reports, no, that are reporting to you as a line manager. So it's very important to be compassionate leader nowadays. Also, this generation, no, mostly belong to Gen Y and Z. So they are now more of looking, no, for transparency and authenticity. No, authenticity that what you see is what you get. No, that what you say, you do it, you mean it. You mean what you say and say what you mean. No, they're very particular with that. So if you don't know something, no, especially in this age of knowledge, no, economy, say it. You could say it. I don't know that. Tell me how you can do that, because yung mga workers mo or yung mga direct reports mo are the ones on the situation. No? They're the ones dealing with the interface with the work and the clients, if ever they're the ones who are having those interfaces. Ikaw, your job is to manage them and have them achieve, no, yung overall target or the results that you need to bring as a team. And in order to do that, no, being mindful, looking at their well-being, and yan, isa pa sa mga trends as of now is yung what they call diversity and inclusivity. No? Diversity, equality, and inclusivity, DEI. No, that's also part of being a compassion leader. So unlike before, no, if give you a concrete example, merong mga in terms of management, no, management gatherings na puro lalaki lang. No? Puro lalaki lang sila. Hindi pwedeng babae because ibang mag-isip yung babae. Or another example would be a management team wherein may discriminate, no, na member of the LGBTQT community. So now hindi na, no, it's different. Being a compassionate leader now, you should be aware of the diversity, equality, and inclusivity. No, the more minds or the more differences or diverse the perspectives are, the more creative ideas flow. No, hindi na basta, hindi kasi management team to, kailangan puro lalaki tayo kasi kailangan ganito tayo mag-isip. No? Focus. But now, hindi na, no, we need women to think differently and give us her ideas. We need yun nga, no, to include the LGBTQT community, like a gay person or a tomboy, to give, no, their perspectives as part of the team, no, to give their wild ideas. Baka mamaya yun yung solution, no, that we are looking for in order to have a successful project, no, to implement. Ayan, so hindi na natin sila dinidiscriminate, but we're very compassionate and open, no, in order for us to achieve a great team as well as a more quality output in terms of more creative ideas. Yan. So being a compassionate leader is looking for looking after the well-being and being mindful as a leader, being mindful as a leader, looking out for the well-being of others, as well as the diversity, equality, and inclusivity. Ayan, unlike before, hindi, kailangan puro lalaki tayo dito, ano tayo dito. Like, kailangan ganito lahat tayo dapat mag-isip. But now it's different, no? The dynamics are different. We should include other ideas from different people. Okay, and last but not the least is the future skills that are needed. No? So we started with the first perspective, which is the external environment, sharing with you that we are already in a B.A.N.I, B-A-N-I, age, no? Hindi na V.U.C.A. So B.A.N.I is brittleness, anxiety, nonlinearity, and incomprehensible age. So second is that we need compassionate leadership moving forward for on this certain age in order to counter yung as you could see on the last slide here, if you are a compassionate leader, yung bani ma-address mo yan because when you have this compassionate leadership, you're looking for capacity and resiliency, empathy and mindfulness, yung context and adaptivity. So you can work on that as a team if you're a compassionate leader. And yun nga, you're also transparent and you have a more crystal clear intuition or concrete creative ideas because of you're also including diversity, equality, and inclusivity. So people would likely be more happy to contribute and be part of your team. And the next, the next thing that we need to also know as leaders are the skills for the next 5 years or so. What are the needed skills? So we've researched this through the source would be World Economic Forum, and they have identified that in 2025, all employees will need reskilling by 2025, 50%. So for example, if you have 1,000 employees in your organization, so 50% of that would need to reskill because by the year 2025, there might be new jobs that needs to be occupied. And what are those critical skills that we need in order to adapt with that kind of situation? So according to the World Economic Forum, these are the top 10 skills of 2025 that are needed. So I think most of these are already you're familiar with. So to categorize them, the blue ones are called the problem-solving skills. Ayan, problem-solving that involves analytical thinking and innovation, complex problem-solving, critical thinking and analysis, creativity, originality, and initiative, and reasoning, problem-solving, and ideation. While self-management comes with the active learning strategies, yung continuous learning. So I'm happy and glad that you are fostering continuous learning by attending these sessions in Alpha TV. And then working with people, kung kita mo, isa lang yun halos, leadership and social influence. And yung technology use and development. So which are more of the hard skills. So kung mapapansin mo, on the types of skills, soft skills, ang number one because it controls 3 out of 4. Problems. Would you know that problem-solving skills, anong hula nyo? Is it a hard or soft skill? Problem-solving. It's a soft skill, Problem solving is a soft skill. Self-management as well, which involves yun nga, yung learning and resilience and working with people also is a soft skill. So ang hard skill lang dito is yung being aware, no, being updated on the technological use of certain softwares, no, in terms of design and programming, in terms of monitoring and control. Yan yung mga automation ng system. And to show you, yan yung concrete, no, difference between a hard skill and a soft skills. Ayan. So ito yung mga soft skills. These are skills that mostly pertains dun sa personal habits, traits that shape you how you work. And normally you learn this on your own, no? Ito yung mga habits that are instilled, no? that you have, or the skills that you have gained through yourself. Ayan yung mga emotional intelligence, critical thinking, willingness to learn, empathy. Hard skills, yan yung mga technical knowledge or training that you gain through any life experience or including yung mga career and education. So, source is indeed. Ayan, yung hard skill versus soft skills para for us to better understand what are the difference between the two. So they're a part of your personality, no, as a person. Ito yung nasa loob no. While yung concrete professional skills, yan yung mga hard skills. And usually hard skills is easier, no, to teach. Kasi yung mga natututunan natin once na like this, if we've attended, we know, no? We know. But yung soft skills are more of practice, no? The things that we get when we practice it. Ayan. All right. So given that, I hope that we learned something, no? Given the three things or perspectives that shape the landscape of leadership as of now. So we started with B.A.N.I, no? Shift from V.U.C.A to B.A.N.I. Second is instilling that compassionate leadership within us. And third, looking at the top 10 skills, no, that is important, which are composed mostly of soft skills that we need to develop in order for us to be more competitive and especially to be more significantly better, no? As a leader, as an employee, as a manager, no, as a team leader in our respective areas of influence where we belong. All right. So with that, let's proceed to our Q&A portion. Ayan, baka may mga tanong. Yes, if you have any question, just feel free to send sa ating chat. Or you can also unmute yourself and ask, no? Para we could have a more interactive session, learning session for tonight dito sa Alpha TV. Wala po bang mga tanong? Questions so that we could further check, no? And know that you learned something or you want to clarify or reinforce something. So yung questioning, yan din yung isa sa mga important skill that we need to harness and develop as a compassionate leader. Yung tipong before you direct, no, or say something to the person, no, to or to your team member. So instead of directly saying na gawin mo to 1, 2, 3, you could reformulate it in a form of a question like uh sabihin mo like, Jason, how do you think you could do this better? 1, 2, 3. Instead of saying na directly you do this 1, 2, 3. So parang with that, you are not only exercising yung listening but also yung thinking skills of your team members, subordinate, direct reports. All right. So may mga questions po ba? Feel free. Yun. Question from the chat. How can we influence the top management on these changes on the future leadership? Yan. So thank you very much, Mark, for that question. So it's really critical also, no, na yung ating top management, which mostly are the ones practicing yung traditional leadership, no? In order to influence them, we start, no, with ourselves. No, we start with ourselves, and if they see, no, na we are making significant changes, no, with the things that we learn on leadership, then that's the time, no, na makikita nila maganda yung performance mo, maganda yung handling mo sa team, maganda yung result that you are bringing, and you get promoted. So that's the time that they could you are already credible, no, that they would listen to you. Ano bang ginagawa nito ni, for example, ano bang ginagawa nito ni Mark? Because he is very good in handling his people, he is meeting his targets, and he even, no, goes the extra mile. So yung kasi ano, in order to, kailangan may mapatunayan muna tayo that these things are effective. And this will only be seen if we're practicing and doing it. Ayan. So if we implement, practice this and do it, no? It's ano, kumbaga makikita nila sa no? You could model it and they could follow you, no? Or they could hear you, no? They could kumbaga magkakaroon sila ng kumpiyansa, no, in terms of listening to what you gonna say because you proved something. So that's one way. The other way is simply to have open forum, like during open forums or calibration meetings or town hall. Kung may mga town hall meetings kayo, you could like present, no, this future leadership changes if you have the opportunity, no, to share it with them, and hopefully they would listen. Ayan. So si Mark Rafael, si Mark Florence naman. I hope I've answered that, Mark Rafael. Si Mark Florence, how can I inspire and build relationship with my team to build a shared vision? Yeah. So thank you very much, Mark Florence, for that question. So how can I inspire and build relationship with my team members? First is yun nga, no? You need to, given these changes that we are having, you need to model and have that compassionate leadership. No? And one of the basic things that we could do being compassion is being considerate of their well-being. So like for example, if may nag-leave because nagkasakit, of course, hindi naman yung sunod-sunod or yung inaabuso, no? There's two ways nun eh. So, alam naman natin kung inaabuso na tayo eh, no? Or yung nagdadahilan lang because may ibang ginagawa, no? But alam naman din natin that if that person is really nagkasakit, nag-leave, so yun, we could be a compassionate leader by kakamustahin natin, no? Kasi normally pag nag-leave, hindi as a team leader, hindi na natin sige, basta na-approve ko na yung leave niyan, okay na, no? So first is yun nga, no, let's not be judgmental na nag-leave yan because may pupuntahan lang yan or may gagawin na iba. So yun. So let's remove that on our mindset. By being a compassionate leader, we need to be mindful as well as we need to be concerned dun sa well-being. So kung talaga namang may sakit, yun, kakamustahin natin how he or she is doing as a team member. So yung next question mo, to build a relationship, that is one. Second is to build a shared vision is, of course, yun yung pinakauna, no? As a leader, you need to set the vision. So for example, if your vision is to accomplish X number of revenue ba yan? Or uh, are we talking about productivity? So whatever um, yung goal mo, no, goal nyo or vision mo that you want to share with them, the most important thing there is you communicate it. No? You communicate it clearly and you have a clear action plan on what are their roles. Ano yung mga role ng mga team member mo on how they could contribute and achieve that vision that you are trying to drive or to achieve. No? So very important one is how you communicate it. So dapat yan regularly kino-communicate mo and you reinforce it. Second is reinforcing it through positive reinforcement. Like pag meron silang, halimbawa, na-achieve na nila yung 50% of their target of achieving the vision, so dapat meron tayong konting reward and recognition for the efforts uh, to your team members. So that's another way of building, no? A shared vision is to have a positive reinforcement. Second is, yun nga, communication with them. And yun nga, no, since we're adults, on the adult stage, kailangan medyo paulit-ulit para maano talaga sila, ma-drive sa kanila na no, na you're really looking at a shared vision. And most importantly, as a leader, you model and do it. No? You're doing also your contribution. Second, thank you. Hope that I answered that, Mark Florence. And second, CJ, what are the challenges of compassionate leadership? Yan, no? Thank you very much, Jay, for that wonderful question. Yun nga, no? Ang challenges is that being a compassionate leader, sometimes you tend to be abused. So we need to balance it as a compassionate leader. Sometimes baka masyado tayong compassionate na to the point that it doesn't mean no, na compassionate leader ka is you're not you are not parang focus on the results. So hindi. Kaya nga compassionate leader ka, it's because you're not only compassionate to the other people in order to build great relationships with them, but also you are compassionate with the results that you need to achieve. So yun minsan yung nagiging challenge, no? Baka akala puro for the people lang lagi, compassionate for the people. But there's also two things yun no? Relationship and results. So dapat as a compassionate leader, you also are compassionate and focus on the results. So parang a tale of two teams. Ang saya-saya ng team dito, lagi tayong masaya, party or may kainan, no? But walang quality outputs. So hindi maganda yung team na yun. Meron din naman doon sa kabilang team na puro outputs naman, no? Puro results. So ang problema naman doon, burnout. Walang relationship. So kailangan balance eh. Relationship and results is always balance in order to be a compassionate leader. So I hope I've answered that, Jay. Next, as a leader, kay Fatima, does compassion come with limits and how do we set boundaries to it? And how do we ensure as a leader that our compassion is effective and influential in a good way? Ayan, so thanks Fatima for that question. Yun nga, no? As I've said with how somehow similar with Jay, yun nga yung challenges na medyo sometimes, no? Um, yung how do we set boundaries? Yan. So two things yun, no? In terms of being a compassionate leader, first is ano, no? We're really concerned for the person. Kaya lang if that person is not reciprocating, no, to a relationship, it's not reciprocating or not doing his or her accountabilities, responsibilities to achieve the results or do the job that he or she is assigned to. So, ano yun, as a compassionate leader, we employ developmental interventions such as training, coaching, mentoring. Ayan. So, halimbawa, nagawa na natin lahat yun. No? But still, this person is not cooperating. So, doon na tayo sa second intervention, which is discipline, no? Progressive discipline. So yun, may mga limits, of course. We set boundaries as leaders, we set the boundaries. And alam naman natin, no, as leaders, we are the one who knows the situation kung yung umaabuso na ba tong team member na to o hindi. So pag umaabuso na, that's the time that we instill progressive discipline. And no hard feelings kasi as a leader, we're concerned, we're compassionate to them that we want them to improve and we want these employees to excel. But if they don't want to, no, so compassionate pa rin tayo in terms of ito yung maibibigay natin sa kanila. But if they don't do it or follow it, then that's the time na halimbawa na submit na sa progressive discipline, hindi pa rin nag-improve. So that's the time to say goodbye, di ba? Na you're not aligned with what the team, with the team. Ayan, so we set the boundaries. We're the one who will set that boundaries kasi tayo nakakaalam ng situation as leaders. So it's either developmental interventions, we did our best. We're compassionate that they would become better, but they themselves don't want to. So discipline. But pag discipline, wala pa rin. So ano na yon, yung directing na wherein either she shape in or shape out. Ayun, I hope I answered that, Fatima. So, may mga questions pa po ba? Thank you very much for those questions and hopefully I've shared insightful answers dun sa mga questions or katanungan. Yes, Sir Joe.
And actually, sir, gusto ko lang kita i-assist sa mga questions. So, keep the questions going. So, we have allotted extra time pa hanggang ayan, until we have 5 minutes for your questions. Yes, may certificate po dito. So, question is, magkakaroon po ba ng e-certificate for this participation? Yes, as always, magkakaroon po tayo ng e-certificate. So, to be sent within the week. Ayan. Actually, coach, sobrang ganda ng topic kasi very challenging yan ngayon, no? Lalo-lalo na very sensitive ang mga tao, no? Kung saan kung saan masabihan mo ng konti, oh my God, you hurt my
tatampo
feelings.
na agad.
No? You did not respect my feelings. We have boundaries. And it's very essential sa mga leader, lalo-lalo na yung mga what we call that the Gen
Z.
The Gen Zs or Alpha Gens ay natin mga tawag ngayon, no? So parang they are highly sensitive people kung saan, for example, hindi mo lang sila na-invite over lunch and then kayo magkakatropa and then something offending na ulit. Parang, why you did not ask for my consent? Puro gano'n, no? Puro gano'n sila. And that's very challenging, lalo-lalo sa mga those who wanted to have a very pure team using compassionate leadership. And I
Leadership. Oh.
really believe that, no? On the compassionate leadership, parang you don't have to be on the top actually to lead. Being the
Mm-mm.
best secretary, being the best vice president there is a role of leadership already. And putting on someone else's shoes to you, no? And trying to walk a mile with their shoes, I think hindi siya ganun kadali. It's easier said
Yes,
than
yes.
done, no?
Easier said than done. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, sobrang daming factors that you have to consider. And ang dami din diyang fake empathy, yung parang
True,
they
true.
tend to
Oh.
be emphatic to you like, "Uy,
Mm.
kamusta ka na? How's your
Pag
feeling
pag
today?
nakatalikod na, yan na.
But we have a
Oo, iba na
deadline,"
yung
no?
sinasabi. Oo.
That's that's one of the fake empathy that
Hmm.
kamusta sa'yo, just to remind that you have a deadline being
Yun,
set.
yun. Tama,
Yan.
tama yung mga gandang
Empathy.
example yan.
So
Yes.
remember guys, empathy is not done overnight. It is practiced over time. Ayan.
Yes.
So being an emphatic person muna before you can apply it to your leadership principle.
Correct, correct.
So sobrang I'm very fond of leadership topics because me myself as a leader as well during my college time, and actually coach ay nakwento ko, no, may award that time, parang isa lang binibigay na award na yun sa buong graduate. It's a leadership
Oo.
awardee. And
Mm.
actually to screen you academically, your leadership component and your corporate responsibility. Um However, hindi ako president ng iba't ibang org, but I got the leadership award, no? Parang
Wow.
they tend to,
Paano yun?
di ka naman president, parang ba't ikaw yung nanalo? But parang ang dami mo lang org, ganyan-ganyan.
Ah.
However, one question in the interview struck me, like, bakit ikaw yung kailangan maging leadership awardee? Di ba? Parang,
Ah.
actually,
Oh.
my answer to that question, if I can still remember, parang,
Mm.
binalik ko yung tanong. Parang, ako po ba talaga dapat yung tinatanong nyo dyan? Hindi ba dapat
Ano?
kaya nga may screening kayo kasi you know what are the standards of a good leader based on the core principle. So, ayun, doon umikot yung discussion namin kasi I really don't believe na parang you have to defend yourself to become a leadership awardee. And I
Mm.
always believe that kapag iniwanan mo yung group mo, pag iniwanan mo yung team mo, and they are still functioning even without you, then you are an effective leader. Kasi you were able to influence them, you were able to relay them the instructions very clearly. No? So I
Yes,
think
correct.
doon natin nakikita. And how to do that? Being compassionate to them, being to know them on the emotional level. Sabi nga sa mga leadership books na nababasa ko, parang leaders do not need members. Leaders need friends. No, so dapat magkakatropa talaga, no. Kaya sobrang po ako natuwa sa topic nyo ngayon, Coach Rai, no. So, and for the questions coming in, yan, so sobrang discussable. And apparently, ayan, it's already 8 p.m., no?
Oo nga.
So,
Bilis ng
ayan,
oras.
sobrang kulang yung oras. And I hope, Coach Shai, you're able to launch again your leadership or your strategic leadership courses. Guys, please watch out for that, no? More courses to
Yes.
come this 2023. So for that, maraming salamat po, Coach Rai, for sharing your time with us, your valuable time with us, and sharing your principle, your thoughts, and your expertise about leadership. So,
All right.
ayan po, I'll be announcing
Thank
already. So,
you, guys. Thank you, Sergio.
ayan, thank you po, Coach Rai. Ayan, so I'll be now announcing yan, our post announcement. Our partners would like to thank the IXL CIE Review Center. Ongoing na ang review. Just PM, the Ask Lex Page Academy, and IXL for your CIE review needs. Grace Apparel PH, Tools, the first Filipino data analytics platform. Startup Podcast PH, and our media partner, Ineniero.org. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. So naka-live tayo sa YouTube ngayon, guys. No? And for our upcoming online courses, we'll be having on February 25, that's tomorrow, 26, March 4 and 5, our Six Sigma Yellow Belt. That will be on from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Habol kayo, 3,000 for students. And we have a promo of 4 plus 1. We have also a self-paced Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt for a price of $2,990. Lean Six Sigma Green Belt Certification Program for the price of 20,000 pesos starting on March 4. A self-paced Lean Six Sigma Green Belt price at 14,990. And our Black Belt certification starting at March 4 to price at 75,000 pesos. We also offer project management fundamentals. So that will be tomorrow kung gusto nyo pa umabot. Price at 2,490. And Kaizen Professional tomorrow. Ayan, price at 5,000 pesos. Also, ito guys, bagong program namin. Certified Data Engineer. Yan. So that will start on March 5, 12, 15, and 26, and April 2. So price at 23,000. So we'll be learning about Python, Hadoop, Spark, etc. At ito po ang aming mga self-paced. Libre pa rin po ang ating white belt. Ayan. And join for 5 with pay only for 4. And would like to thank our Alpha partners, Alpha ambassadors, and for more courses, free courses, please visit us at asknextph.com/courses. So, sa mga gusto pong alumni natin, so please check our QR code. Please join the alumni network. Makipag-network tayo, guys. And ito na po ang ating certificate. Ayan. So, ay, nawala. Ito na po ang ating certificate. So, for those who are watching, ayan. So, please click the link below and fill out the name properly because kung ano yung fill out natin dyan, ayan yung magre-reflect sa certificates natin. Okay. Ayan po. So, fill out the attendance form and ayan, no? Magka-close to within 30 minutes. So, that's all, guys. Ayan, so maraming salamat po for watching. Till next week, Alpha TV, Wednesday, kapihan tayo. See you guys again. Once again, be significantly better always. Maraming salamat po. See you around. Bye!